This is Striker Aveno. It's Metal Gear Solid 5. It's infinite resources now. We already did money. Now we're going to do resources. And quite honestly, if you do it the way I show you, you're going to have millions of GMP to use as well. We're going to do 3 missions and repeat them. So here we are. God. Here we go. So this is going to be your loadout for the most part. The sneaking suit from Ground Zeroes. That's perfect. It's only like 400 GMP. It quiets your footsteps. As you can see, we really don't need anything. We don't need C4. We don't need any kind of explosives. The Phantom Cigar, I believe, doesn't even cost you anything. I take D-Dog with me because it finds nearby enemies. That's really the most helpful thing. So let's take a look. So the first mission that we're going to do is number 21, the War Economy. There's 3 total that we're going to abuse. So basically how the game works is that there is an autosave, invisible autosave perimeter that is honeycombed throughout the map. And it is basically designed so that when you are about to approach any outpost, big or small, you're going to run into that barrier and it's going to autosave. That way, if you get spotted and you die, you can basically pick, I want to go back to the checkpoint, and it will put you just outside the base. That means you have to infiltrate the whole thing all over again. Yes, I know, but that way everything that you've done up to that point is saved. Okay, our objective is going to be right there. Hit that marker. You can see it right there in the distance. That is where we want to go. We want to go and grab shipping containers. So what happens is that anytime you trip over one of these autosaves, everything that you've done or Fultoned or done in the mission at that point ends up getting sent to your base. So that's basically what we're going to do. See that you just hit it while you hit an autosave for something else. Okay, now those are some materials processing. Whenever you hit an autosave as well, it will also show you that kind of stuff. That might be from... there's automatic mining. Mining is either from the FOB or it's mining at the location of Mother Base itself. Here's online resources. Okay, that's what's being processed by the FOB itself. It's the base development unit. That's the ones that handle the dealing of materials and whatnot. So the higher level and the more people that you put into the base development unit, the better and faster you're going to get your resources. Online ones are on a separate timer. You earn those, or they continue even if you're not playing the game. Then there's a separate one for while you're playing the game. But I'll put out a video on how you can kind of bypass the AFK or the anti-AFK that they have in the game, in case you're away from your controller. But in this spot, we're going to get 9,000 fuel and we're going to get 15,000 biological. So when it comes to shipping containers, white ones have equivalent of 100 units, yellow have 300 units, and the red have 500 units. So white are always going to be the smaller ones, but the deep red ones, those are what is going to give you like 4,000 of one type of unit or 7,500 of one type of unit. The white ones, these end up giving you like maybe 400 units of a particular material, or maybe 700 at most. But so yeah, whenever you see a deep red one, you want to get those. So this is all we're going to do. We are basically just going to grab all these containers, and then we are going to head back right where we came from, and we're going to trip over that invisible autosave barrier, and then that's going to be saved. I got a run of this where I actually continue on, and I go to the other side of the base, and I grab some common metal. There's like 3 containers of that equal 2,250. And then there's also 3 precious metal shipping containers inside the hangar, even further back. And that's 1,500 precious metal. You don't need to, but I've done that. It adds an extra minute and a half to my overall time. I might do a separate video on that, but we'll see. So about the time you get to this hill, boom, we hit the autosave. There you go. There's your 9,000 fuel and your 15,000 biological, and that's it. At this point, all you do is you hit the start button or whatever you want to call it. You can either abort the mission to the ACC, or you restart it and get those things again. Just do that. You cannot complete the mission as normal. You got to make sure to do it this way: abort or restart. So this is episode 18, Blood Runs Deep. This is basically just a fast run to grab some common metal. We're going to get 8,250 common metal. So it takes, the reason we're doing this is because it takes 5 days, you have to do 5 story missions in order to make all the shipping containers respawn. Because, yeah, otherwise you're like, man, it takes so long for these shipping containers to come back, you know, when you're running around. That's why you have to do this in mission. You can't do this in side ops. You have to abuse this while you are in an actual mission because you have to be able to abort to the ACC. The marker we're going to put right there. As you can see, we're going to get dropped off right here. So we are going to make a run right there, and that's going to give us a little over 8,000 of, what did I say, common metal? Yeah, this will give us 8,000 common metal. I'll make sure to pet the dog. He needs it. And there you are. It's like 250 meters away. So just run over here. So yeah, 5 story missions. Make sure to highlight this vehicle because the vehicle actually will run all the way around. And if you take too long to take this place out and decide what you want, that vehicle will come and it'll come around the map and come back at you. I used to grab it because, you know, when you sell a vehicle like that, it's like worth 70,000. But quite honestly, you're going to get plenty of money from selling the extra biological or the extra precious metal that you don't need. You're going to have millions left over. If you want a couple extra of those tanks, though, right when you get to these flowers, the helicopter notice will come in. He can't see you from there. You're okay. It's scripted. You should be safe. Just be sure that you don't go too far over. But I think you're pretty safe. So you take these guys out. That's the only bad thing about it is you kind of do have to take them out because the autosave perimeter gets disengaged when you're on an alert. So that means if you go outside of one and the alert status goes back down to all clear, then you got to go and trip back over it again. But yeah, so like I said, 5 story missions will reset all shipping containers, so just keep that in mind. But you want to abuse, you don't want to touch these ones that we're using for purposes of this. But if you know you're going to be working through a bunch of story missions, you know, in the near future, yeah, go ahead, grab everything that you see that's not tied down, and then do a couple. You can always do mission 4, CW2. That one is very quick. You can just repeat that 5 times, and then you'll be good to go. So you can always abuse that as well. And yeah, 8,250 common metal. When I do my extra long run on the airfield, the common metal I get is only 2,250. So you literally have to do that 4 times to equal what you get in this run by itself. But if you need common metal, you can do it. And there we go. We hit it, and there's our 8,250 common metal. You can check the thing. You can see the vehicle actually will come around this corner, and it'll get to you. So if you're grabbing extra troops, just be sure to be done when he comes. And this is the third one, Mission 12. This is how the mission starts. It starts with a cutscene. You just skip it, and then it gives you the proper title card. But yeah, in order for you to take advantage of the Mission 12 one, you have to have the Fulton Wormhole. Now, I'm not really spoiling anything for you by telling you about it. It's literally a device that you cannot get until you beat Mission 31, which is basically the proper first ending of the game. Then Side Op 50 unlocks, and once you get that, you know, now you can develop the Fulton Wormhole. Huey Emmerich doesn't have a cutscene where he talks about developing this new technology or anything. You're not missing anything. It literally just happens, and all of a sudden you can do it. It doesn't say where the wormhole came from or how he was able to bend time and space in order to do it. It just happens. So yeah, it's not much of a ruining, but you need that in order to grab these containers. Otherwise, there's no room for the Fulton to grab it. And this will get you 4,000 minor metal, not common metal, but minor metal, 7,500 fuel, and 500 precious metal. And, you know, after you repeat this quite a bit, you are going to have a lot of minor metal, and precious metal is going to be okay, you know, 500 at a pop, but you can only develop or the resource like 250 at a time anyway. So yeah, this is actually going to get you a lot. Usually it's not worth Fultoning these guys. The wormhole Fulton is nice. It costs a little extra compared to the other, the regular Fulton, like about 1,700 more. But like I said, GMP isn't much of a concern at this point. You simply need to grab those 3 containers, and then you go over and activate this, and then that will end it. The stuff I'm showing you here with the whole autosave, it only works with the shipping containers. The shipping containers will be back, but only if you are part of a mission and you decide to abort the mission or you restart the mission. You have to be in a mission. You can't be doing side ops. Grab a bunch of stuff, you know, hit the autosave, and then expect that you can just abort your side op and then come back. It has to be in a mission. You can do this with literally anything. Any other shipping containers that are in a mission. But these are by far the quickest to get to. Now here you can see that I'm selling the biological material. 10,000 units of biological can sell for 1 million GMP. Precious metal, only 1,000 of that, because it's valued at 1,000. You only need to sell 1,000 of that, and that will get you also 1 million GMP. You can only get GMP up this way by selling up to 5 million. That's the cap. I'm sorry, but that's what it has. I'm not sure if you can still earn more than that or not, but that's all you can do. So that's why it's not letting me sell as much. But yeah, this only works with shipping containers. If you grab the regular biological little cases and whatnot, you know, those are gone from the map until they reset. Same thing with plants. When you hit the autosave, though, that actually does save it. But yeah, they don't respawn when you redo the mission. But yeah, so there you go. Have fun. Peace out. 90 hours done.